Hey guys, Rocket Blade here once again. What's up, everybody? Before we start, I gotta say this real quick. I gotta get out of my system. Maybe one day Senpai will notice me. Notice me! No. Okay. Cause now that I got that out of my system, hi guys. I know I'm late to the party. Combination of by the time I got back, I was dead tired. Cause I went to a midnight release of the movie, and then Friday. My mom was having surgery so I had to take care of her for a bit, and then, finally, and then plus Saturday I had to go to a UFC event, so finally, now things are coming down. Now I have the time to finally do this spoiler-filled review now. So spoiler review of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So that being mine, like, if you haven't seen the movie yet, which I understand because last time I heard it is sold out for 2 weeks. I could be wrong, but that's what I've heard from the news articles around the web, interwebs, that it's sold out for 2 weeks. So, if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't watch this video because it's gonna be spoiler filled with nothing with spoilers. And trust me, there's some mad spoilers in this, to say the least. So, see the movie, come back, hear my thoughts. So yeah, this is my warning as of once I start. Um, there's no turning back. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So what I ultimately think, how is Star Wars: The Force Awakens? Oh my God, fantastic. Um, let's be honest, the prequels were garbage. Granted, the movies had some their moments, but most of it was just garbage. Because Phantom Menace, the only thing that you remember was the cool lightsaber duel with Darth Maul, and the only thing you remember from Attack of the Clones was Yoda showing why he's the master. But Revenge of the Sith, was okay. It had some more moments, more standout moments, but it was just okay. It wasn't the best nor the worst, but it was just okay. But still, you don't want to. You just don't want to okay Star Wars movie. So, and it's all right. It failed, but finally, J.J. Abrams, the man who, in my opinion, made me give a damn about Star Trek, took over took over Star Wars. So now, ultimately, what do I think about it? Like I said, it's fantastic. So let's get to the beginning of the story of what is happening. So it does a lot of it starts off with the classic Star Wars logo coming up. Ooh, of course everyone in the theater clapped like crazy, including I, and it showed the text that just the classic scrolling text, and it said basically that Luke went missing because apparently one of his Padawans went to the dark side, and I'll tell you later on who it is. Maybe it's kind of obvious, but if it's not, I'll tell you in a bit. Um, he went to disappear. He went to disappear. He disappeared. Leia became a general of her. Princess Leia became a general Leia of the rebel resistance. So she became had more power and stuff, and then whatnot. So then they're trying to find Luke. Where is he? Because the Empire is coming back. Not necessarily the Empire. I guess a wave of a form of the Empire called the First Order, and they're no joke. They're pretty vicious. And the opening scenes with Poe talking to this old guy, which gave who's a pilot, and this old guy I guess was giving him like Poe, who's the pilot, gave a piece to where of a map to where Luke's at, and they're talking and stuff, and of course they find that I guess the first order figure out where they're at, and they start just attacking the village, killing all the resistance, and like they're just wrangling up all the villagers and stuff. Of course, Poe tried to escape, and of course the classic, like like the original, not to the original, he gave the important part to the new droid BB-8, which I have a clock of, by the way, which I'll probably show that in a later video. But yeah, I have a clock of him, and he he gave him the part, and he told him to get out of here. Don't worry, I'll try to catch up as fast as I can. He goes to try to stop. He, of course, he try to like. He saw the main Sith Lord, this guy Kylo Ren, showing up, making a scene, and like he tried to like he killed a couple of stormtroopers. Which, by the way, Finn was there. He that by the way his that scene was powerful. He shot two stormtroopers. One of them was Finn's friend, stormtrooper friends. He was kind of dying, and he went to grab him, and like, did you see the blood smear on his helmet? Which I wanted. But by the way, there's no toy of a blood smeared like stormtrooper like figure of Finn. I want that toy. Like like that blood smear. Because it kind of like let you know he was scarred. He was like and then of course he was kind of having anxiety, freaking out because he saw that. Like you see all the death and destruction stuff. He's not. I guess he's not used to this. And then like again, and of course, Poe tried to take a shot at Kylo Ren. And of course, he blocked the blaster and managed to stop him with the Force. And of course, the stormtroopers capture him. Of course, he's like, they captured him, and it's like, and Captain Phasma's like, okay, we have what we want. What do we do with the villagers? And Kylo Ren's like, meh, slaughter them all. So he did. And of course, they were like burning down the villages. The stormtroopers were all firing except, of course, Finn. He was gonna fire, but then he just put it down, and then he couldn't do it. And then, of course, they go back to the base, and these soldiers taking him to Kylo Ren's chambers to kind of try to torture the information out of him. Meanwhile, Finn's trying to like hide, kind of hide real quick, and then like, he's just having a really bad anxiety attack at the way he saw and what he witnessed, and he was like and Captain Phasma was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, nothing," and just kind of catching the breath, take your thing, get your blaster checked, and then come see me when you have the time. And he's like, okay. So then put back his helmet on and stuff, and of course it cuts to Poe Kylo Ren here trying to use the Force to kind of like to torture the information out of Poe, and like it looks really painful, and like he did manage to get it out of him. It was like they did find out that it was a BB, of course the BB droid had the thing. He's somewhere in Jakku, and so then while in the middle of transfers, I believe, transferring. Finn was like, "I'll take him to where he needs to go," and the trooper's like, "Whatever." He takes him. It's like, "Listen, can you fly us out of here?" He's like, "What are you? Are you like a resistance spy?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Listen, are you? I'm not. I just want to help you escape." And Poe's like, "Why are you helping me?" Because Finn's like, because I feel it's the right thing to do. But if I get you a ship, can you fly me out of here? It's like, yes. So they know. They act. They kind of like acting like he's taking them somewhere. They get on the ship, and then, of course, the new First Order being smartasses, does the ship right, and like it tries to flies away. Oh, guess what? There's a cable, so they can't just leave. They need permission. And like, hey, and then of course people knows, hey, that ship's trying to leave without permission. Stop them, and like, of course they'll start shooting. It's a big fucking mess. They figure out the gun controls and start shooting. Eventually, Poe ripped the cord and just darted off of the space, but not right away because there's like cannons everywhere. So they're blasting it. They're blasting up all the cannons, and of course, eventually, bam, they went straight toward Jakku. And of course, actually, his name was not Finn originally. It was like some kind of like a jumble of numbers, which also confirms this: these stormtroopers are not clones. There were unfortunately little kids that were taken from probably Force villages or whatever, and raised to be child soldiers, to say the least. And of course, he told my name's Poe, and by the way, just get into that. The chemistry was just so beautiful, to say the least. It was really, really beautiful. Like it doesn't feel in like 4 or 5 minutes, but you could just feel that chemistry. Like it was just really, really well done. And like, so what's your name? He's like, my name is all these numbers. Like, is that your name? He's like, well, I don't have a name, but I guess the F, it was like an F and I in there. So he's like, well, I just call you Finn. How about that? He's like, okay. So like, And of course, I think one of the Empire ships managed to shoot the ship they're on. Though they didn't blow up, thank God, but they just managed to just stun it. Um, to make it, more it can't fly anymore. Just didn't crash right into Jakku. And meanwhile, we cut to Rey, who's just a scavenger trying to find her, trying to find, trying to find her, trying to find her way in life. She's waiting for something. What? I don't know. Hopefully, maybe the future films will touch into that because we don't know really what she's waiting for. But she's waiting for something, and of course, while she's a collector, she collects stuff for food, which is one cool part where I do like where when she get the food, like she puts this liquid in this little bowl and it just props up into a bread. That was like, whoa, that looked really good. Like it, I don't know if it was CG or not. It was probably CG, but it looked like it looked real, like something that could happen. Like I was like, whoa. So then afterwards eventually while scavenging she finds BB-8. Some one guy wanted salvage him from parts. She's like, don't let him go and stuff. And of course at first she didn't want him to come with her. She was telling him where he needed to go, but of course he's kind of like a little kid. BB-8, which is he's cute by the way. He's kind of like a little kid. He didn't want to be alone. So he's begging her to come along. And she's like, okay, come on, but just for one night. And then of course eventually Finn. We come back to Finn. He's just trying to find Poe, but he's nowhere to be found. He assumes he's dead because he sees the ship, but it sinks into the sand. And he goes. Luckily, he slowly slips the parts, takes his Poe's jacket, and just goes straight to the town to get some water. But luckily, he sees Rey in trouble with these two thugs because earlier she wanted to get more food, and the guy's like, "I'll give you a whole bunch of food if you give me the droid." And she's like, "No." And of course, the guy being a greedy asshole, well, she calls two thugs and get the droid. I want it. It looks cool, whatever. And so of course it shows she can handle herself. She beat the shit out of him with the stick. But of course she sees Finn, but she wasn't happy at first because the droid tells her he stole that jacket. He hits him and so no, I helped him escape, but he died in the crash. Of course, BB-8 all sad and stuff, and then of course the Empire, knowing that BB-8's there and consider that the captive escape, with the traitor, Finn, they start attacking that village. Of course, they start making a run for it, and it's like, we'll take the what about that ship? What will you have a ship to get out of here? We'll take that. He's like, boy, that ship over there. Oh, it's this junk. And of course, the shit that tried to get was exploded. So okay, I guess we'll take the old junk. And it's not just any old junk. It's the Millennium Falcon. And of course, they go on an epic speed chase. Oh man, some people play. Oh, it's just CG, whatever. It looked good. God damn it. Don't bitch. It was good. And so after they kill all this stuff, is of course, I'm Rey. I'm Finn. They start introducing each other. Of course, he's playing off. Oh yeah, I've been the rebel all along. And my funny part was so where's the rebel base? And of course, obviously Finn, he just the fact that he doesn't know is come on, BB, tell me. Of course, BB was hesitant, but come on, look, I'll get you where you need to go to, but in exchange to get to where you need to go to. Look, it's one of those things. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. And he put a thumb, he put deal, and he put a little lighter thing like this, a stick, a lighter up thing, the way saying he agrees, it was so cute, and oh okay, okay, and then BB come on, BB, tell him and he's blah 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 blah, tell him a little crazy the coordinates, that's it, yep, that's it, and of course the shit's kind of acting up, but then they're being pulled into this other ship, so they're thinking, oh my god, it's the Empire, they got the First Order, they catch up with us, so they're hiding under the ship, so you just hear boom boom, they're trying to bust on the door, and of course it was none other than Han Solo and Chewbacca, and of course, people applauded as accordingly. And Chewie, we're home. But then, of course, they kind of stole the gas because they kind of maybe making knock them out, maybe destroy the stormtroopers. But it turns out, of course, they smelled it and figured they were there. And of course, there's plenty of situations to help each other out. But unfortunately, I guess during all the events of what happened after Return of the Jedi, Han went back to being Han and started ripping off people because he's not one but two different thugs that wanted their money because he ripped them off and excuse me, he ripped them off, and like he's like, we want our money back, on. And he was like, oh shit, and like, and of course, and like and Han for some reason had these creatures, I guess, to sell. I guess I don't know. I guess they were there just to help them escape. And before you know it, of course, Rey and Finn want to help out Han and Chewie because like they're like in a really bad situation. They press the button. Guess what? They released the creatures that Han and Chewbacca were collecting, and of course, they just started just going everywhere. It was a creepy looking thing. Just started grabbing and killing everything inside. Luckily, Han and Chewie managed to get away from the chaos, and at one point, as they're escaping, Chewie got shot in the shoulder, and it was like, you're the gasp, but like Han's like grabs Chewie's blaster, and then like just bang, so the guy just go backwards, and like Han's like, holy shit, your gun's awesome, Chewie, and like they go on the, and so the man, look at the man just barely escape, and like Han's like telling him, so what are you guys doing? We need to get to the rebel base, we need to get to the rebel base and whatever, and Han's like, okay, we'll help, and like so they of course at one point Finn was trying to clean up Chewie, but Chewie's like being a dickhead, like grabbing Finn like because he's in pain and stuff, and it's like, he killed me, they tried to kill me 6 times and shit, like it was just hilarious. So they finally get to this nice little area that it's the bar area of of this Star Wars universe, and of course all the creatures and stuff all look fantastic. Of course, there's this one orange little lady that was CG, though some people have a good point. Why couldn't she be practical? I don't know. In my opinion, she could have been practical. But even though she was obviously CG, it was one of those rare moments in the movie where I felt like she was alive. Like I wasn't watching a cartoon. Like I felt like I can touch her, like she was really there. Because how well she acted and presented herself. It's hard to describe, but in my opinion, it felt like even though she was CG, and I do agree that she could have been practical, but I guess it just felt that maybe CG would look better than practical, because 90% of the stuff was practical. Just, all the sets and peep stuff, and like it just made the movie more authentic. I loved it. So anyway, they were talking with her to help her escape. How to get with these people so that way they can get to the rebel base. Of course, Finn was found out that these two from Han, there's these 2 guys over there that can take him to the edge of the galaxy to hide from the Empire. And like, of course, but she's like, why? Because she sees him leaving. Why are you leaving? He's like, well, I'm not who what you think I'm. What are you? He's like, I used to be with the Empire, the first Empire, but I defected and I don't want nothing to do with the but don't leave, we need your help to get the droid to where it needs to go to stop him. But it's like, I don't want no part of this. Look, you get there, be safe, whatever. And he was living with them, but of course, one of the people that were looking all normal, normal as it could be in Star Wars, was I guess one was it was funny. One was a first Empire spy. And one was and then the other one was like a rebel spy. They both each told each other, "Hey, the droid's here. Come now." So like while they're trying to get things going, of course the Empire came and it was a big battle. And it was a big battle. But before that, Rey went to this room. She found this weird noise. She's hearing this weird noise. She goes downstairs, and she found this box. She opened up. Of course, it was a lightsaber, but when she touched it, she got all these memories just like whoosh rushing in. Like she's remembering parts of her childhood, parts of things with Luke, and then Kylo Ren. I guess like going into the dark side. It was just all these different things rushing in. Of course, and of course the CGI cantina owner, I believe, was telling her how the Force is strong with you. She knows the practice of the Force, but she knows of the Force, and she can tell that. Something special that she told to keep the sword, the keep it, but she's like, I don't want no part of it. So she just darts off in the forest, and then of course you see the Empire attacking, and then they start just wrecking the place, and like of course they're chasing her. She's trying to run away, and Finn's like want to help out, and of course Finn sees this. Of course he wants to help out, the people and stuff. He's like, I need a weapon. Like, and she gives, like, I need, and like, he handed the thing, like, but I need a weapon. This is a weapon. Turns it off from it, of course. Just Han and Chewie just wrecking stuff. Of course, Finn kills a stormtrooper, and Han and Chewie just killing stuff. And of course, Han recently finding out how awesome Chewie's gun was. He's like, "Hey, can I borrow that for a second?" He just killed 3 guys. He's like, "God, I love this thing." And Chewie gets giving that noise like, "I know. That's why I use it a lot." It was so awesome. It's cool because you got to see both both air combat and ground combat at the same time. It was so cool. So then what happened was they got to back and forth. Finn killed the stormtrooper, like I said, and he like stormtrooper for the one trailer you saw. He's like traitor, and he went. Poosh, he pulled out his like a stun baton, and like Finn pulled his lightsaber. Had like an epic duel, and like the stormtrooper was going to best Finn. Of course, Han shot the shit out of him because he used the Chewie's gun because he just went bolting back and of course eventually the numbers were over. The numbers game got them at was getting, of course, it started taking their weapons and started to get captured, and all of a sudden you see like a whole bunch of X-wings are just coming in, just shooting down all that. Of course, during the chaos, they managed to get their stuff back. Of course, in the forest. Meanwhile, back in the forest with Rey, she's trying. She saw a couple of stormtroopers, and then she sees Kylo Ren, and he's just slashing away bullets. And of course, he slowly stopped it with the Force. Then he realizes, Oh yeah, I think one part missed on the cutscene. He kind of, believe during the ship back somewhere, BB-8 showed part of the map. Showed part of the map. Showed part of the map, but there was a piece missing, where Luke would be at. So it was kind of incomplete and stuff. So then of course Kylo Ren notices that she knows she has information to where the map is. Of course, he kidnaps her, and the way he just stopped her with the Force was so creepy, and she could tell she was scared. And excuse me, and he kidnaps her, and of course Finn sees her, no, right? He carries off, and of course Han sees Kylo Ren carry her away, and then later I found out with this big looking Sith dude. Of course, is he really that tall? Because he's a really, really tall dude. Is he really that tall? Honestly, I don't know. He could be just compensating for something, as they say, but we'll find out in the sequels. So, anyway, he's don't, he's remember, do not go down the light path. Is do not go down the light path. Because you are Han Solo's kid, and oopsie. So he found out, that's not Luke Skywalker. You're not Luke Skywalker after all. You're Han's kid, aka Leia's kid. So, sorry guys, that got debunked. So then of course we go back to the Rebel base. Turns out Poe, because of course Poe was one of the pilots to help. I'm oh my God, Poe, you're alive. He's and of course, oh my God, you have my jacket. He tried to give us no, keep it. Looks good on you. So then, of course, he goes to Leia. Oh, before that though, you see the head ship coming. You see Leia come out. Of course, everyone applauded. Before Han can say to Leia, see people just pops in hey, what's up? And of course, people applauded again. And I know you probably didn't recognize me because suddenly he has a red arm for some weird reason. I don't know why they could have painted it gold, but whatever. So then, of course, I go back to the Rebel base, where the headquarters are at, and of course, try to find they're trying to find trying to find where Luke was at and stuff, and so they go to the Rebel base, and Finn try to tell him everything about this. It's it's not a Death Star, because the Death Star was this. This new, I forgot what it's called, but I guess you could say Death Star 3.0 was this. It was a huge sucker. It made the Death Star look like a toothpick in comparison. It was like this, and it was Death Star was this, and it was this huge sucker. It was ugh. And earlier, which I forgot to mention, there was a big speech these people, they're working with the rebels. We will show them why they must fear us. And they fired like the this new Death Star and just it not just shoots planets, it shoots destroys not planets, it destroys planets. Like at least 3-4 planets got simultaneously destroyed at the same time. I was like, oh my god, just like, oh. And you can see, of course, the people screaming in terror. Of course, you can kind of see like one during that one battle before when Ray got captured. You see kind of the beam just going across space the way that it's like. That's why I need to stop it. Not only save Ray, but stop this crazy new Death Star 3.0, as I call it. And of course, he tells them all the plans and where the base is at. And of course, so of course they get over there, trying to find where it's at. This is one part. Is like, so, what were you before you became a stormtrooper? I was part of sanitation. As Finn was telling Han, it's like, wait, you're part of sanitation? He's like, yeah. Like, well, like he's the Force Awakens. Like, come on, it's not this thing works and stuff. And then she was like, I guess saying like, I'm cold. Like, you're cold. And the theater busted laughing. So they say like, oh, I guess we'll just wing it. And of course, meanwhile, Kylo Ren was trying to read her mind and stuff with the Force, and he's kind of figuring out the map, but not really. But then she starts fighting back, and hinting that she has some way the Force. He's kind of like struggling. Wait, I can get any more information, and it's like you're just afraid you won't be as good as Darth Vader-Senpai. He's just like, how did she know that? And like he freaks out and he just leaves, and like he goes to tell his Sith master, which by the way I'm thinking, oh my god, his face is jacked up, but is this a normal face? But it fits. But anyway, he's telling about how she has like, even though she doesn't know about the Force, but she has some strong connection to it because I try to read her mind, but she resisted. And of course she like, okay, let me see if I can use the Force some more. Of course, you try like use the classic, you will let manipulating the droid by you shall let me go, and uncuff me. He's like, what? She said it again. He's like, you know what? I'll make him tighter. Like, and she just closed her eyes, focus, said the line again, and like, of course, she was like, I will uncuff you, let you go, and I'll uncuff you and open the door. And he does it, and he's like, oh, and drop your blaster. And he just drops it like, yeah. And she's like, had that sense like, holy shit, it worked. She gets out, grabs it, leaves, and meanwhile, they're like, well, just to be safe, just place bombs within the base, so that way, we can get Ray and just blow this place to smithereens. Oh, and before Han went to do that, to go to help with destroying this new Death Star, Han told Leia that she saw their son, Ben, which his name is Ben, by the way, and excuse me, and he's like, I know he's with the dark side and stuff, but please talk to our son, tell him we forgive him whatever for what he did, just tell him to just come home. And so after they set all the charges, you see Kylo Ren, I guess, because at this point Rey escaped. Which, oh, by the way, I've had to mention how there's one part where we found out that he said she escaped. He just starts going ape shit on the chair and shit, just wrecking the place. These two stormtroopers are walking by and they're like looking at each other like, yeah, we don't want to part of this, and just walk back the other way. So anyway, he sees them walking towards this middle ground area, and so like, of course, Han confronted him like, Ben, please come back. We miss you. Your mother misses you. And like, he's like talking to him. Is like, and at first, though, I learned, with recent years, I learned to be skeptical. I was worried, like, oh man, are they gonna kill Han? And of course, that light somebody there was really hoping that maybe Kylo Ren is really not want to do this. And then like, Kylo's like, can you help me with something? He's like, anything. So and of course, here's a big spoiler. He kills Han Solo, and my God, and the combination. Now, it was a combination of the fact that the fans not only gasping, but Chewie crying and just sat in anger. It's just
coming. I'm an asshole.
right. That's my friend Koopa, and like you just that roar is like it just made it feel like more real. I'm like, and literally there's a girl up there crying in tears. I was just like, my mouth was like open for so long, like literally a fly could have gone there and I wouldn't have noticed. It was like, no, and this. You see him just graze him, like touch his son like that. Like even though I know you did what you did, I still love you. And you just see on just all this like, and just Chewie. Oh, Chewbacca had Wookiee rage and just started killing everything. Like just killing any stormtrooper, poor bastard stormtrooper in sight. Just getting just mauled to death, blasted apart. And before that, he managed to shoot Kylo Rin, like I guess like in a lung area and stuff, and it just he's like and, he's like man, Chewie just so angry and just he mad, but luckily of course the stormtroopers distracting him, and of course everyone just gets off and then Chewie just sets up the bombs and then boom boom boom, and immediately and meanwhile the Paul Owen's leading a group of X-wing pilots to just destroy this new Death Star and just wrecking the place. And just at this point, like Kylo Ren, I thought you were cool, but now I hate you. Anyway, so and of course they ended up running away. Like I don't know how which that's kind of like the weird plot point. He catched up with them. Oh, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Before that, Captain Plasma. If you're wondering, okay, how did they find where to place the bomb and stuff, and where where Rey was? They kidnapped her and they put her in a garbage chute, and that's the last time you see of her. And I'm like, what a waste! What a waste! I'm like, seriously. She had a cool armor design. I'm thinking, oh my god, she'd be so badass. In fact, me and my family was talking about how she should have been the stormtrooper that had that stub baton and had Finn fight with this, with that saber fight instead, because I'm thinking, oh man, she had a badass moment in in the air. Nope, just you're captured. Okay, tells me what I want to know. Okay, bye. It's like bye, Plasma. I'm like, wow, just really. Oh, okay, but it looks like she survives. So hopefully, JJ, if you do take over, if you do the next, and then please do something with her, please. Just have her just be good looks. Show us why she is. Why she has the position she has, and not because of the core armor set. So anyway, okay, now we got back to the Force. He got shot like in the lung area. I'm like, okay, how the fuck did you catch up? That's weird, sir. But okay, Force, whatever. And of course, he's like, you're not going anywhere. This ain't over. And of course, he pushes Rey into a tree, which that hurt. And he's like, Rey, and Finn just got a saber. It's like, and of course, I guess Kylo Ren senses that that's Luke's saber, and he's like, that saber belongs to me. And Finn's like, you want it? Come and get it. And they'd have a epic sword battle. Now that was all Finn guy's ass kick a little bit, but he managed to hold up his own for a bit. They did go out for at least a good 2 minutes. They were going back and forth. He did manage to nick him in the shoulder / arm area, so he did get a good shot at him. Of course, that the little as you can see, the little side saber thing, man, it's pierce Finn. Oh god, you just see his agony. He's like, that's why it's effective, folks, because you can just push in and just anyway, and he's keeping up the best he can, and then poor Finn just got wrecked and just slashed and just got his back fucked up. It was like, oh god. I'm like, god damn it, man, it's just getting worse. He's trying to grab it, and of course it's and he made the smack the saber away, and he's trying to grab it with the Force, and then he's grabbing it, and you see the saber zoop, goes past him and right to Rey, and it was like that oh shit moment, oh my god, and she really oh shit, and she tried to just starts bellowing at him and stuff, and she's not only keeping up with him, but actually she's actually beating him. And He realized how talented she is. Like, come on, let me teach you the ways of the Force. Just join me. She's like, the Force, and she's quiet down herself, focused, and then she went to town this dude and just fucked his day, and then just let a big like scar on it across his face, and she just fucked his day up and just.
And now he's getting closer to looking like Vader-Senpai at least.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks again, Koopa. But then, unfortunately, before Rey can really blow, of course, Poe is just in his pilot crew is just wrecking the new Death Star 3.0, and that is getting destroyed. All the explosion is like creating like a, they're at separating. So he's like, Kylo Ren was on one side while Rey was in the other, separating and stuff. So she couldn't finish him off. So then, her general of one of the generals of the First Order was like, "My lord, we're crumbling. It's the new Death Star is crumbling, and Rey, Kylo Ren's severely injured." Like, and the man said, "Bring him back to me, so I may finish his training." And then just, I guess he's not ready yet. And excuse me. So then of course they said, and of course she's just crying, she managed to get to Finn, and she's just crying. Oh my god! I'm like, what do I do? So she sees Chewie, she saw Chewie going towards the Millennium Falcon, and she went to Chewie, and then Chewie grabs him, puts him in the ship, and they get out of there, and like, luckily, I don't know how Finn survived that, and of course, I guess during the chaos, I forgot how it's kind of dumb. I kind of forget about this part. Because, this is a bad thing about doing it so late. How they found the other piece of the puzzle where to find Luke. I think R2 had it, I believe. Because okay, where's R2? And they uncovered this thing, like, oh my god, it's R2. But then suddenly he's like, not on. Not that he's dead, but he's like, he turned himself off because he got because R2D2 loves Luke, like, like a kind of like a big brother, and he just, ever since Luke disappeared. Because with Kylo Ren, Kylo Ren going to the dark side, Luke felt his fall. He went to exile because he blamed himself. He shut down power because R2 just blames himself for what not blaming himself, but like he feels sad that Luke's gone, and now he's just depressed and he just doesn't know what to do. But luckily, he suddenly came back on, and not only when we first saw him, we clapped again. We're like, oh, he's on, and R2's like, I know where he's at, and he finished the piece for us, and like everyone felt that Rey should go, and of course they they all cheered her on. Like, of course, Chewie and BB-8 went with her to the planet. It was like in the sea, and they go to this beautiful mountain. Like it looked like a place where Jedi would train. And then you see, and then she climbs up all those rocks, and then bam, you see this person in the rope turns around, and of course it was Luke. And of course she kind of like, I'm getting emotional. She, was like giving him back his lightsaber. She looks at her, and lightsaber, and looks back at her, and they're just staring at each other. And he's like a wide shot of them, just looking at each other. And the island, and then and it ends. I'm like, no! I'm like, oh god! I'm like so happy that she found Luke, but it's like, and that's it. It just ends. I'm like, shit! They got me. I gotta see the sequel.
And episode 8.
Yep, episode 8. Whatever it's called. So that was the whole movie, guys. Well, I think it was great, and I love this movie to death. It felt like a true sequel. The practical effects were fantastic. The chemistry was between Finn and Poe, and then Rey, and everyone is so classic. Just seeing Han and Chewie again was so great, but then seeing Han die like that was just so tragic. And now Kylo Ren is really a bastard. Now everyone's going to hate his ass now. Truly a bastard. And I just love this movie to death, to say the least. And it finally felt like we got a true Star Wars sequel.
What are you talking about? Attack of the Clones was the best one.
Suck no one ever. But anyway, you guys get my point. And oh man, thank you guys so much for waiting. I hope you guys are seeing this. And yeah, that's my review of the movie. Like I said, the only bad part was Han dying. And I mean, some of the some of the CGI shots here and there, but the plays were fine. Some of the characters were not needed, and like maybe they couldn't like figure out how to make it look practical. I mean, they did try and it just didn't. It didn't work or look more fake, so they did have CG. But to me, like I said, it was kind of negative, but at the same time,
What are you talking about? There was no CG in this movie.
oh yeah, fun fact: when we were watching like the news stuff about Star Wars, some guy like there was no special effects in CG in this movie. I'm like, really, dude? Really? So the planes and X-Wings and the TIE fighters, they're real, huh? Okay. Keep telling yourself that. Anyway, hey, don't get me wrong, I wish they were real, but they're not. Hopefully maybe one day we'll get to that point, but I don't think we'll live to see that. Unless we put some serious money, but hey, that's another discussion for another time. Point is, what's my verdict of this movie? It's nearly perfect. Like I said, like I guess a 9.5 out of score it. Like I said, the only two cons are just Han dying and I know it's a second story, but still, really. And then some CGI shots that were mainly the lady, but like I said, it's not too bad of a con because, like I said, after a while, the more she acted and how she was presenting herself, the more real she felt. Because with some CGI characters, how goofy and just like it like okay, this is a cartoon, but the way she was acting and presenting herself again, like she was real. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's the best thing to do with what they had. So, but overall, if you're a Star Wars fan, what are you waiting for? I mean, hell, it's breaking box office records. Is it worth seeing? Hell yes. Go see this movie. Finally, we have a true sequel to Star Wars. It's fantastic. Hopefully, we see some great games and adaptations with it. And hopefully, with JJ just helps it because there was people worrying about it, but I also knew it was in good hands because this is the same guy that made me give a damn about Star Trek. And I didn't give a shit about Star Trek. He made me see both Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness. He made me care about the franchise. And now I knew once he was having Star Wars, and just by seeing the behind the scenes, the passion, just the atmosphere of them just working on this movie, you can tell that they love this movie. Like they're like one Simon Pegg said it best when he was on set. I'm in heaven, and he just had a sip of role, and just having that sip of role, he just loved it, and everyone had that passion, and I love that. When you see people having fun making a movie, it ends up being just that more great, and it's a true classic. Again, guys, go see it. It's the must-have, must-see, not only Star Wars movie, but this movie in general of this year. All right, guys.
Alvin and Chipmunks is the movie to go see.
Yeah, that also came out during the same time, along with Cadet and Concussion and the Hateful Eight. Though I know that movie is good, but come on, Quinn. I know you bitched, but come on, Quinn. Let's get real. I mean, I know Hateful Eight's probably an excellent movie, but you're going up against a franchise, son. I'm sorry. You should have pushed it back like what Kung Fu Panda did, because they was come out in December, and it's on Star Wars. Yeah, January. So.
And I just want to say, guys, sorry for not being in this review. I would have just looked tired and not say much anyway, so.
Yeah. Have you seen a prank? That's kidding. But okay, guys. That's my review overall, guys. I hope you loved it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you agree with me or disagree or whatever. Just hey, let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's my thoughts on the matter. I loved it. It felt like a true Star Wars sequel. It's fantastic.
Okay, will Vader-Senpai ever notice Kylo Ren? Yes or no? Put your answer down below.
I picked no. Oh, asshole. How dare you go on. Alright, guys. This is Rocky the Blade signing out. We'll hope to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope to see you guys real soon and whatnot. And again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.